Blog Talk Radio.
This is David Diaz, former WBC lightweight champion of the world, and you're listening to The Grueling Truth.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to a special episode of Inside Boxing Weekly as we preview the Canelo Alvarez, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight this weekend. I want to welcome in, I'm your host, of course, Mike Goodpaster. I want to welcome in my co-host, Jeremiah Preisser.
Good evening, everyone. Happy to be on. Always happy to be on. Let's talk some boxing, Mike.
All right, we got two special guests tonight, two former champions. We've got former Cruiserweight champion Steve Cunningham. How you doing, Steve?
Hey, what's up, yo? I'm good, man. Really good.
All right, I have former super welterweight champion of the world, Cornelius K9Bundrage. How you doing, K9?
What's up, though, my guy? You all right?
Damn, I knew you was going to bark, K9. You're telegraphing that too much now. See?
That's right.
Hey, real quick, we got like 3 callers on hold already, so we will get to you guys as quickly as we can. But we're going to start off, we're going to talk a little bit, just quickly, since we got Steve on here. He was in the heavyweight division for a while and had some success there. Talk a little bit about Klitschko Joshua and get Steve's take on the fight.
Hey, well, that fight was man, it was going to be a heavyweight fight to remember, especially since we've had so many lackluster heavyweight fights, and the division's been kind of lackluster for a while. But we saw that Vladimir that everybody kind of wanted to see. Joshua, we already know he's a specimen, strong, athletic, big. I mean, powerful. That fight. I'm going to rewatch it again tomorrow. Actually, it's just an awesome fight. It gave you everything you wanted. It gave you knockdowns. It gave you, that comeback from Joshua. That comeback victory win. And then it gave you the kind of, like everyone's saying, the passing of the torch to an extent. Him beating Vladimir, the former king of the boxing of the heavyweight division, which I believe Joshua has the power to be him, do just what Vladimir did and probably more.
Yeah, where do you see Joshua going from here, and how do you think he would fare against a guy like Deontay Wilder?
One thing Joshua showed me, and can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello, can you guys? All right. One thing Joshua showed in that fight is he can weather the storm, and we know if anyone fights Wilder, they're going to get hit with that right hand, and most of them will go down. Joshua being a huge guy, muscular, athletic, and on that level and higher possibly, or, I believe Joshua will get hit with that right hand, but I believe we will have to see Wilder go through phases. Either Wilder's going to figure out he can't stop this guy and start boxing, or Joshua might just get him. That's a fight. Any of the heavyweights that are fighting, we got Joshua, Parker, Fury, even Vladimir still in the mix, with that performance, and you can't say he's done. Wilder, Ortiz, we got a heck of a mix there, man. Any of those guys against each other is a good fight.
All right, real quick, I want to get K9's opinion of the fight. We've got like 7 callers on hold, so we'll get K9's opinion, and we'll start talking Canelo Chavez. Or if you're on hold and you want to talk about the heavyweight title fight, we can do that also. Go ahead, K9.
Oh, man, yeah, it was a good fight. Klitschko did real good. He made brothers like me feel real good at the age of 40-something. He's still showing you that he can put these young boys in check. Like welfare. So yeah, I like the fight. I enjoyed the fight. I think his trainer Jonathan Banks did a heck of a job. Nobody's talking about the job he did. He did a great job to be young like that. To be taking over Emmanuel Stewart's his spot, and that's some hard shoes to fill. So he did a real good job. Joshua had to actually he grew up in that fight because Joshua he had never been through nothing in boxing. As far as in the heavyweight division with being a world champion, I think that right there fight actually made him better. Now, where Klitschko goes from here, I don't know. All the money he done made, he's older in age now. I don't know if I'll even take a rematch because he's promoting. He's still got one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world in Triple G. So it ain't like his stock is going down nowhere. I mean, nowhere problem because he got he got his promotion, and he's still fighting. I mean, I probably would call it a day because he's on the way.
Yeah. All right. Well, K9, Steve, we're gonna take some callers. We go start off here with the first guy that was in for 949 area code. Welcome, caller. State your name and what do you got for us?
Hey guys, this is Luther in Orange County, California, and I basically just want to agree with both what Steve Cunningham and K9 said about their comments on the recent heavyweight title bout. Just to play the other side of that, guys, from at this point I enjoyed it as well, but I thought it was kind of a one-off. I mean, to this point, yeah, it was a great fight, but I think that the boxing community should come to expect that, for every title performance. And, you know what I mean? So having said that, keeping it on a positive note, so wondering for K9, is there any opportunity that you'd be fighting again? And if so, any fighters like, for example, Miguel Cotto? He doesn't have an opponent.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you brought his name up. I'm ready to whoop that boy. For real. Me and him done talked about fighting a few times, too, and his feelings or whatever got in the way. The business part got in the way, but now, you know what I'm saying, he don't have an opponent. We can go ahead and scrap. Yep, right. Ruther, I'm definitely ready to put that boy in retirement.
Yeah. All right, excellent. And does anybody on the panel, either the hosts or the fighters, do any of you guys have a definitive opinion on the hopefully classic fight that's coming up here this weekend between Chavez Jr. and Canelo?
All right, we'll start off with Jeremiah. Jeremiah, you want to give your opinion? We'll do this, caller. We're going to let you go because we got like 8 more callers on there. We want to thank you for calling in, but just keep listening. You get everybody's opinion, all right?
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, all right, thank you.
The roof is on fire.
Go ahead, Jeremiah. Give us your Canelo Chavez pick.
All right. I mean, I like the fact that Chavez looks like he's shown up for the fight. I mean, there's always question marks surrounding, his ability to prepare. I mean, we've all seen, the pink underwear and the cereal in the mansion and the 24/7. We've all seen it, but he looks like he showed up in great shape, and I'm really happy about that. He employed Nacho Beristain to get ready. Fantastic. However, I just don't think Chavez has the ability to match like Saul Alvarez. I understand he's probably going to be bigger than Canelo, but Chavez has not beaten a ranked fighter in about half a decade. That was Andy Lee. I don't think Alvarez is Andy Lee. I think he wins a decision here.
All right, K9.
You know what? He made a good point what he just said. I feel like that Canelo, I mean, he don't get credit for being like one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world right now, but he is. He definitely a cash cow. Nobody said more pay-per-view than him, even though that ain't got nothing to do with actually him fighting the guy, with him fighting Chavez Jr. But I just think that he hasn't never been beat up. He's never been knocked out or none of that. He's just a fresher man. He's a lot fresher than Chavez Jr. Even though Chavez Jr. really won it, I think his best chances to beat Canelo was a couple of years ago when he was the A-side and when he was fresh. So I'm rolling with Canelo.
Steve?
Me personally, I'm going with Chavez Jr. this fight because really we all know all Chavez needed was motivation and dedication to the sport to do something. We all know he should have did, he should be this and he should be that, but it's because he lived like a rock star and he didn't take it serious. Well, I believe, like many of us believe that he has taken it serious, and I believe we're going to see that great fighter that he could be, and he needs to be that in order to win a decision over Canelo or stop him. Either way it goes, I can't call either one, but regardless of how the fight goes, it's going to be an amazing fight because this is like a fight for the pride of Mexico. who's Mexico's favorite son. That's what it seems like to me. And there's a grudge. They've got a lot of animosity going on between the two. This is going to be an awesome fight for the fans, regardless of how it goes. But I like the underdog all the time, so I'm going to roll with Chavez just for, he looks great. I feel that he's going to be motivated and centered in on trying to beat Canelo.
All right, I'll give my opinion in a minute, but we got the caller on the 248 area code has been on hold for about 10 minutes, so welcome to the show, caller.
Hey, what's happening, man? This is Scott from Detroit.
How you doing, Scott?
Right, Scott.
I just want to say I recently saw K9 fighting in Dearborn, and he was giving these guys that work, man. He can still be a top dog at 54. The only thing I got to tell him is I think K9 should join the money team.
No, never. I'm going to knock Mayweather's head off when I see him. It's deep there.
All right, that all you got, Scott?
Yeah, and just that K9, who you going to be fighting soon, man?
Man, listen, I want Cotto. You know that's my whole thing is to get Cotto up out of there. Canelo dug me for years, and then Cotto, Canelo done moved up in weight. So the guy I want a couple of fights. If not my next fight, I want Cotto. That's the fight I want, Cotto.
I think you would give Cotto that work, baby.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right.
If he would have had that money right, we would have got in there ahead of time. Thanks for calling in, Scott.
All right, Rick.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. All right. So, Steve, I want to bring this up. I know you're still active. I know that you said you moved back down in Cruiserweight. I mean, what do you have in store?
So I'm looking, the next. I just fought March 17th, man. Just got in there. I've been out the ring for about 11 months, so trying to get right back in ASAP. We got some Cruiserweight champions out here we're trying to make a fight with, and we'll see which one, wants to give me their belt, because that's what it's going to be.
All right, next caller. Right. Next caller, 989 area code. Welcome to the show, caller.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, how you doing? What's your name?
Curtis.
All right, so what do you got for us tonight, Curtis?
Actually, I was just listening, though. I didn't want to, comment, but just want to listen.
All right, we can leave you on here then.
I think that's my guy, Curtis.
Is
that Curtis from Detroit?
Yeah, yes, sir.
It is Curtis. Okay, what up, Kurt, man? We got a fight. We got a fight coming up June 25th. In the Motor City, so he's gonna be on the card. The next great heavyweight world champion in the future. Kurt, tell him about yourself. Kurt, tell him about yourself.
Oh man, I'm Curtis. I'm from Detroit. Right now I'm 1-1. Right now, I fight June 25th.
And he got robbed too. He got robbed at one fight. Let me say that real quick before you say anything. He got robbed. I was at that fight. All right, go ahead, boy.
Yeah, it's cool though, but for now. Looking forward right now, but yep. So I'll fight June 25th, and it's going down.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, Kurt.
All right, we're going to go to our next caller, 313 area code. Welcome to the show, caller.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
All right, how you doing?
Man, I'm phenomenal, man. Thank y'all so much for asking. Man, I was just calling in. I was invited, to call in, and it's always great to talk to greats. I just want to let each and every single one of you know that great doors are getting ready to open up for you. Keep moving forward. Sometimes I know it can be a challenge, but you cannot have a testimony unless you have a test. All right? So you're moving in the right direction. I love y'all, and I see greatness in y'all. Thank y'all for having me on.
I see greatness in you. Gotta be
All
C.
right.
That's my guy, C.
Thanks for calling in.
I see greatness in you.
Hey, man, listen, Detroit is in the house.
Quick. Huh?
Jeremiah, Detroit is in the house, man. When I know I'm about to be on the show, man, I make sure, I tell all my peoples. So far, everybody I done heard on the radio is my peoples. So they still showing that support, man. Yeah, that's good.
But when we get to this fight, we'll start off with Jeremiah, then we'll go to Steve, get his answer on this. The one chance it seems that people are giving Canelo is the fact with the weight advantage that he's going to have, because we know he's going to blow up and be damn near a cruiserweight. He could damn near fight Steve. But how big of a deal do you think that is, Jeremiah?
Personally, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, I think Chavez is definitely bigger, but we also know that, Canelo Alvarez shows up in. I mean, we've had Kermit Cintron on the show. And Kermit said what? Alvarez was about 180 when they fought. I mean, we know Alvarez was about 170, was about 175 in his last few fights. I mean, against Cotto, he looked huge. I mean, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, Sergio Martinez, Andy Lee actually, up until the stoppage was largely outboxing him. I just don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. I think the size is just, again, it's just not that big of a deal.
All right, what do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be. And in actuality, I think Chavez is going to blow up to just about as big. So they're going to be matched right on up. We know Chavez. That was one of his main issues was his weight. So I mean, Canelo's going to blow up. Chavez is going to blow up. They're going to be about the same size. Chavez is going to have the height advantage. But we all know that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to beat the guy. It's going to be a heck of a fight, man. I'm telling you, I can't wait.
All right, we're going to go take our next caller, 989 area code. How you doing? Or no, that's the guy we had on hold. That's my fault. Sorry about that, Kurt. But 586 area code. Welcome to the show. Hello? 586 area code.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me. My name's Drew. I'm from Michigan, Detroit. I want to see Cotto and K9, man. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Yep. Cotto.
All right, you got a prediction on the fight coming up this weekend?
Canelo and I think Canelo, Chavez. Man. I'm a Canelo fan.
All right. Oh, you going to go?
All right,
Canelo?
Sounds good. Thanks for calling in.
Yep.
All right, Drew.
Well, see, K9, that's why I don't talk to you when we go in between callers, because me, Jeremiah, and Steve just got to listen to guys call for you.
hey, listen. That's how it was when I was the current world champion. They was all calling for me too.
All righty. Well, we're going to go to the 734 area code. 734. How you doing tonight?
Hi there. This is Ashok, Title Boxing Club. Good. How are you guys?
All right, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Doing good. I just want to give a quick shout-out to my man, K9. I own a couple of boxing clubs here in Michigan, in the Detroit area, and this man, he's changed what we do here. He's amazing. Members absolutely love him. So, K9, I know you're gonna win this next fight, and many more.
Thanks, Ashok. So, y'all hear where we at? We out in Troy. Give me the address. We out there in Farmington Hills at Troy Title.
Yeah, the Title Boxing Club in Farmington Hills and also in Troy. K9 is one of our lead trainers at both clubs.
That's right.
All right, hey, thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. K9, you going to have anybody call in from anywhere other than Michigan area here?
Oh, look. Hey, the first person that just called in with I don't know what number it was, but he stay out in Florida, so I got connections all over. Yeah, Ruther. Ruther don't stay in Michigan. Yes, Ruther. Yeah, he stay in Florida.
All right, guys, we're going to go to the 832 area code. How you doing tonight? 832?
Yeah, I'm here. This is Antoine. How you doing?
All right. How you doing, Antoine?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm in Houston, but I'm from Michigan. I'm from Lansing, Michigan, about an hour from Detroit.
Michigan. See, look, even when they ain't calling for me, they still for me because he's from Michigan, so you already know what it is.
Yeah,
straight. All right, so you got a prediction on Canelo and Chavez?
Yeah, I actually do. I've been going back and forth on this fight because I'm huge into boxing, and I'm going to go Canelo by decision, but it's going to be a drag out. You know, it's going to be a close fight. It's not going to be a one-sided affair. But I'm going to go Canelo in a close decision. And
I think, Steve, that this is going to be. I think this is going to be hard not to be a good fight, just because both guys basically come straight ahead.
Right.
Yeah. I want to ask you guys though. Do you think there's if there's a knockout in the fight, who do you give who do you think is the favorite to get a knockout?
We'll start off with Steve.
Yeah. If there's a knockout in the fight, I get a favorite to be Canelo. You know, I pick Chavez, but if Chavez wins, I believe it'll be like you said, a knockout, drag out brawl that will favor Chavez.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this. I don't think I've seen Canelo on the ground too many times, and I've seen Chavez put there a lot of times by guys that are inferior fighters compared to Canelo. I think this fight ends in a knockout, and I think Canelo knocks him out in the 8th or 9th round. Jeremiah?
Well, now, I mean, I picked Canelo by decision, but I would have to agree that if anybody scores a knockout, I think it's Canelo. I mean, you know, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to tell what Canelo really has because, to be honest with you, he's been pampered a bit with his matchmaking. I mean, he's fought some good fighters in his time at the top, but unfortunately, a lot of them aren't bangers. You know, and the ones who were bangers were a little bit past it, and Kirkland and Julio. But given that Chavez, you know, even though he trained for the fight, I still have my doubts about whether or not he can, you know, be taken into deep waters and hang in there with him. So I'm picking, you know, Canelo. I mean, if anybody's going to score it, I think it's Canelo.
All right. Now, the thing I got is, Steve, when you predicted Chavez to win the fight, the thing you said there is the reason I picked Canelo. And that's the reason that Chavez normally doesn't train. So to me, I'm going to go with the guy that, you know, has been fighting since he could walk, basically, and has worked every day of his life to get to this point, over the guy that maybe was pampered most of his life because of who his dad was, and now has decided to train.
You know what? I got to tell you like this, y'all. Really, to be honest with you, whoever is Canelo's matchmaker, I want him to be my matchmaker. Because Canelo has had it good his whole career.
Yeah.
When he finally did fight someone that can, you know, really go, it was a guy who couldn't punch that hard. And even though he lost, he still won because now everybody know who he is. And that's when he fought Mayweather. He didn't get knocked out, but he learned a whole lot. And he got a lot of Mayweather fans along with all the millions of Mexican fans he already has. So whoever his matchmaker is, man, doing a great job because just look, he's getting guys to fight at catch weights. And I don't think he would beat Chavez if he would have fought Chavez at 68. The extra weight mean a whole lot. And with Chavez Jr. coming from probably 200-some pounds to get down to 164, man, when I saw him, he looked like he was on drugs, man. He looked like a crackhead. He lost so much weight. I just don't think that he's going to be strong enough. And if they get in the later rounds, I think with him trying to rehydrate himself, he's not going to be strong enough to rehydrate himself. And I think that's when he's going to be in trouble.
All right, we got a caller from the 949 area code again. How you doing, caller?
Hey, it's just me again, guys. Ruther in Orange County, L.A. area. So if you guys don't mind, I guess for the second time around since you called on me, I'd say that I like Champ's last comment there on that. And would Steve Cunningham and the rest of the panel, would you guys agree that with the other guy coming down from so much weight there, but I guess if he's walking around at 200 and coming down to like 164, is it really going to play that much of a detriment? Would you guys agree with the champ there if it goes into the later rounds?
All right, Steve, you want to go first?
Yeah, I don't think so because we've seen fighters do that all the time. Ricky Hatton would come from 200. Numerous fighters at those 160, 154 pounds will blow
Fernando
up to
Vargas.
190. Yeah, exactly. So I don't see it being a problem. You know, I don't see it being a problem.
Hey, but Steve, you got to think though at the same time that those guys were the A side. Chavez Jr. is doing that against the A side. He's not the A side, so that's why it's going to hurt him. You can do that, and then you're not fighting but once every blue moon. It's going to hurt him, I believe, a whole lot.
Yeah, and if you look at a guy like Ricky Hatton, though, I think that's what shortened his career so much. I mean, the constant yo-yoing in weight. That and the beard.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's true.
All right, Jeremiah.
Well, we definitely going to find out. We're going to find out Saturday for sure.
Right.
My thing is that, I mean, we'll never really know until, they actually get in the ring. But if there's one thing that I'm confident of, I think it's a lot of weight. Chavez hasn't been this low in a long time. But, again, as I mentioned earlier, he has Nacho Beristain in his corner. And if anybody knows how to get a guy ready, it's him.
And, you know what? That's a good point. Emmanuel Stewart, before Emmanuel Stewart passed, he said that the best trainer beside himself out here was Nacho. He said he was the best trainer out here, other than himself. But, another thing, I'm glad you brought his name up. It's not real good to go with a new trainer for the very first time and you fighting a big mega fight like this, because it takes a couple of fights to gel with a trainer. They don't know each other that well. Even though he's a great trainer, the same habits he had going to be hard to break the very first fight coming to, the two going together, or training with each other.
Right.
Yeah, Jeremiah, I think that's a good point, too. I mean, it's kind of like, a new coach with a baseball, football, basketball team that takes over mid-season. Very rarely works out because it takes a while to get used to everybody.
Thank you.
But
that's my point.
It depends. Again, no, and I think that's a great point. But it's hard to tell. I mean, because sometimes come in and immediately the guys, their personalities mesh and the training styles mesh and whatnot, and it just works. It's hard to say.
And you know what?
All right, thanks for calling back, Ruther.
Yeah, thanks, Ruth. Another thing I wanted to say too is that if Chavez actually got with Nacho and they fought 3 times and he got used to the weight being on 164, I would favor Chavez in this fight. But we just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, this is their first time working together. This is the first time he's been down to 164 in I don't know how many years. It's been a long time. And like someone said, I think that was Steve that said his last big performance win was against Andy Lee a long time ago. So, it's a lot stacked up against him.
All right. Next caller, we will go to the 989 area code. Or hold on here. We'll go to 720. 720 area code. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
All right.
Hey, Jeremiah, this is Eric. How you doing, boss?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Hey, there you go, K9. There you go. Jeremiah's got a fan now.
Hey, so this is good.
I know K9's looking for that Cotto payday, but I think another guy he should be looking at more stylistic friendly for him is Vanes Monostramo.
Who?
Vanes.
You said who said Vanes? Yeah. You know what? Vanes. Me and Vanes talked about fighting before, but at the age I'm at right now, I done paid my dues. If I'm gonna fight against a guy, they got to at least be a former world champion like myself. With a guy that just I could be the key to the door for them. It's like I don't know if it's some money involved, we can do it. But in my position, even when I lost the title to that young guy, Charlo, it was hard to get up for that fight because with me being 41, the oldest junior middleweight world champion of all time, for the second time getting the belt, I felt like I should have been fighting Canelo. I felt like I should have been fighting Cotto. I felt like I should have been fighting one of those guys instead of a young guy that's coming up that wants to fight me more than I want to fight him. And it's just like I don't want to go backwards. I want to continue to go forward. If I get up for a fighter, any fighter I get up for, I can beat with no problem. But it's just so hard to get up for a guy that ain't really did a whole lot, or they want me more than I want them, and I can't go to the next level even if I beat them because they're gonna say, well, both of them they ain't did nothing last I don't know how long. So, but it'd be a good fight, but it would have been a good fight if we both had to fight for a belt. If you can put up a belt with me and fighting for it, or the number one spot with me and fighting for something like that, then okay. But just to fight him to be fighting him, I don't know. Don't make sense, I don't believe.
Very, very understandable. Let's get to this Canelo Chavez fight, and I think we've seen this fight before, fellas. This kind of reminds me of Pacquiao fighting De La Hoya, and I think Canelo just blitzes through a weight-drained Chavez. and by the 8th or 9th round, Chavez is beat to a pulp.
Yeah, I like this guy because that's kind of what I said, and I think he's dead on. Jeremiah?
No, well, sorry. I want to. Hey, thanks, Eric, for calling in. Somebody from the Denver area. He's a contributor. I've known this guy for a while. He's played on my softball team. Anyways, I can see it. I mean, if Chavez, again, he hasn't been this low in a long time, and he certainly he hasn't had this sort of motivation in a long time. And not only that, I mean, the skill level is really what gets me. I mean, when you compare them, look, I mean, Chavez, he struggled against Andy Lee. I mean, he struggled with a good number of guys. I mean, he barely beat Brian Vera. I mean, and then in the rematch, he wins a little bit clear. I just don't think he's on this sort of level. I mean, it's big hype, but I'm just not buying that Chavez wins the fight.
Right. Understandable. Very understandable.
All right, Eric, you got anything else for us?
No, I just this is my first time calling in. Like Jeremiah said, I listen to all your stuff. I see everything you guys write, and if you guys would like to follow me, I write for 60minutesboxing.com. And also, before I go, Steve Cunningham, it's good to see you still following your dreams. And I think the Cruiserweight division is one of the most underappreciated divisions in boxing.
It is. Totally.
I second
Eric, real quick, you got to give Jeremiah like $5 because it's $5 a plug on the show.
right.
Thanks a lot for calling in, Eric.
Thank you.
Yep, you too. All right, our next call is from the 859 area code. Welcome to the show, caller.
Oh. Hey guys, how's it going? This is Alan Kendrick from Kentucky.
How you doing, Alan?
Doing all right. I've been listening to the show. You guys bringing up a lot of points. The one thing I wanted to bring up is about Nacho Beristain and how him and Chavez, they had a little bit of a little fight. Chavez wanted to leave the mountain area where he was training, but Nacho put his foot down and Chavez obeyed. Where other times he would goof off more. Other trainers wouldn't do that. So I think Chavez is going to put on a better performance than most people are thinking he will. But I do think Canelo is going to win a decision.
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. I see where I understand the everyone picking Canelo and why. I totally understand it. But I'm picking Chavez, because I see like everybody's bringing up Nacho. I know what a new trainer can do to you, and having this motivation to fight. Like there's an extra energy in Chavez right now because Canelo has become Mexico's first son, and which he was, because of his dad, and that motivation for him to beat Canelo is going to be something to deal with in itself. Now we have Chavez. He's come down. He's come back down. I mean, he's serious. But like he touched on, he wanted to leave the mountain and he didn't because the trainer put his foot down. That shows respect, honor, and probably the trainer was kicking his butt, putting him in that work. So Chavez Jr. is going to be in some serious shape. And, I mean, I'm going to go with Chavez Jr., but like I said, it's going to be a hell of a fight, man, no doubt.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a knockout in late rounds, but I think it's going to be a hell of a fight, too. I mean, I think Chavez, like you said, I think at one point he's got to get tired of hearing about his dad. And, I mean, it's got to make you want to try to get out from under his shadow. And the only way he could ever do that would be to win a fight like this, Jeremiah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, he's had his dad riding his, tail for a long time, and, there's been a lot of tension there. And, again, that's the only way he's going to get by. And to that point, I want to ask Alan, because Alan's another guy that I know. He writes for Ring News 24, good guy. I've known him for years as well. Alan, I want to pose a question. Do you think Chavez has the ability to knock Canelo out? Because we haven't really seen Canelo with a banger. We do know for all of us who followed Canelo from his early going, he was stunned by Cotto's smaller brother. It was briefly, it didn't last long, but he was legitimately hurt. Alan, do you think that there's a chance that Chavez wins?
That is a great question, but I think it would be more Chavez would have to push a pace that I don't know that he can. I mean, I think that, Mimo and Beristain can get him in shape like maybe never before, but, it's hard to gamble on that. But if he can get in Canelo's chest and just, go guns blazing, I don't think Canelo can keep that. Canelo likes, pace himself. If you could really push it and exhaust him, then yeah, maybe. But it's not something I would bet on, no. But, I mean, anything's possible. We've seen it in the sport where crazy things happen.
All right. Anything else?
One other point I'd like to bring up is the styles. I mean, I know it's only one fight with Beristain, obviously more fights would help them gel. But I noticed, in some of the videos I've seen where, I think Beristain's going to have Chavez trying to, box from long range, which I don't know if that will work. But, the game plans are interesting, especially on Canelo's side, too. What is Canelo going to do?
Exactly. And
and when you talk about that, Steve, if you're the bigger guy in this situation, Chavez, how do you fight the fight?
I don't think Chavez's style is going to change. Me personally, I think with Chavez being the bigger guy, and as we spoke on earlier in the show about the weight, Chavez is also going to put on a huge amount of weight also. I think we're going to see Chavez trying to toe-to-toe bang with Canelo and be a little successful. But Canelo is very good. Canelo is, like K9 said, he should be on the pound-for-pound list because Canelo is very good in and out, on the outside and the inside. So, but Chavez, we haven't seen Chavez stick and move with a jab. Chavez goes for it. He's got that Mexicano gusto in him, and that's what I'm saying. This fight is going to be explosive all the way through, as long as it lasts.
All right, next caller, 313 area code. We got a couple from that area code. This is 313-399. Welcome to the show, caller. Hello?
Oh, hey, how you doing?
All right, how you doing?
That's fine. My name is Max from Detroit, man. I just wanted to call in and support my man K9, man. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
All
appreciate
right,
you,
thanks.
brother. Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
All right,
I see you in the
next
gym,
up,
Matt.
832 area code. Yeah, thanks for calling in, Matt. 832 area code. He just hung up. I guess he waited too long. We got a 601 area code. Welcome to the show, caller.
What's going on?
Not much. How you doing?
All right, man. This K9, this Junebug from Mississippi.
Oh, okay. Hey, what's up, Junebug? You all right, brother?
Yeah, man. Just want to tell you, man, that you did some wonderful things, man. I remember you saying back in the days at the Williams Center that you was going to be world champ, and you pulled it out, man. You stuck with it.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks a whole lot, man. You got to live your dream, man. You got to believe in yourself. You got to have faith and believe in yourself, man.
Yeah, okay then, man. But love you, man. Peace out.
All right, man. Love you too, brother. Don't have haters. You're going to have dollars and you're going to have haters. You got to go.
All right, next one. We got the 31 area code again, 313-854. Welcome, caller. Hello, 313 area code. Oh, well, I guess they didn't want to talk. I think Jeremiah, intimidates some people, the sound of his voice, so they hung up. We do have open lines now. We just went through about 13 or 14, 15 callers. We had a few that got a little disturbed after 10 or 15 minutes and hung up. So if you're out there and you want to call back, feel free. So what does this fight come down to you, Jeremiah? What is the biggest key in this fight?
Well, I think it's the difference in ability. I think Canelo's got enough. I think he's got enough cojones to get in a dogfight if he needs to. But again, for me, I think Canelo's a pound-for-pound talent. You look at what he's done at an early age. He beat Lara. A lot of people felt the decision could have gone the other way. That's all good and well. But it was close enough to where, he rightfully earned it. He's beaten a lot of good fighters in his early career. I like that he's improved, actually. I think he's become more seasoned. He's become a smarter fighter. He's a bit quicker. He's a bit more comfortable at the weight. And yeah, I just like what I see out of him. I mean, I think he's a good fighter. I think he belongs on pound-for-pound list. Really, that's the difference for me. I mean, Chavez, when I watch him fight, he just lacks a nuance that I don't see from a lot of guys. I mean, you watch guys like, Vasil Lomachenko, for instance. I mean, there's a lot of nuance there. There's a lot of feints. There's a lot of circling, angles. But from Chavez, you don't really get that. I mean, he's not really feinting with the jab. He's not really pumping it up and down. What you see is what you get. I mean, he took after his father. He likes to bang to the body. That's one thing that's been a constant. I mean, certainly he learned that from his father, is he likes to bang it to the body even when he's a taller guy. He's got good power, but unfortunately, with that lack of nuance, something Erislandy Lara does have, we're just going to have a tough time finding Canelo Alvarez. I mean, he doesn't have the quickest foot movements. I mean, he doesn't really give you a whole lot of angles, not a lot of lateral movement, but his upper body movement is good. I mean, he's just a tough guy to tag cleanly. And again, with Chavez just showing his hand, telegraphing some of his punches, I just don't see him landing a lot here.
Yeah, and I agree completely with you on that. And I mean, the thing to me is, I think that's what I'm talking about. When you watch him, I mean, yeah, naturally he's a body puncher, stuff like that. But the things you learn in the gym from working your ass off, I don't know, K9 or Steve, either one of you guys could take this, but I think that is what he lacks.
You got it, K9.
My whole point, you know what? I was listening to what Steve has said, and it made a lot of sense. Is that he's going to be actually fighting with Nacho, and Nacho going to probably try to have him box a little bit, and that's not in his bloodline to box. I think if they had jailed and was together for a couple of fights, then he would know how to box a little bit. He'd be able to add that boxing with it. But I think once he gets hit, he's going to go back into his regular fighting ways, and that's slug.
All right, Steve.
Yeah, I agree with him, man. Once a lot of fighters, I mean, you have fighters at this level, and then you have Chavez Jr., who, he already puts on the air that he knows everything, like he's spoiled and he's going to do it his way. And like I said, Nacho may have him double jabbing and moving to the right or something, and once he double jabs and gets caught, he's going to go right back to normal Chavez, But, I mean, we're going to see an abnormal Chavez do what the normal Chavez does because he's going to be in such better shape, though. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look, Steve, don't get me wrong. I hope that Chavez Jr. do win, but I just don't think he will.
Yeah,
I think
like
a lot
I said,
of people.
I like to go. Okay, you got it.
No, I was just going to say, I think a lot of people would like to see Chavez win. I mean, I think a good number of people are kind of upset with the way Canelo has carried himself in recent years, especially with the whole Golovkin thing. So I think in a way a lot of us would like to see Chavez knock him off. Then, of course, we probably wouldn't get the Golovkin fight. But, and plus it's the catchweight thing that's going on. I mean, this is at 164.5 pounds. I don't know when the last time I've seen a 0.5, be a weight stipulation in a fight. I don't know if I've ever seen that. But it just kind of goes to things that Canelo's been doing and that matchmaking. I mean, when he beat Miguel Cotto at 155 for the middleweight crown, then he defends the title at 155 two more times. One against an overmatched welterweight and Amir Khan. Again, I think there are a lot of us and probably a lot of Mexicans because this is going to be a polarizing fight for them. I think a lot of them would like to see it happen. But then again, you want to see him fight Golovkin.
That's true.
Yeah, so the question is this, as we wind this down, I'll start off with Steve on this. If Canelo wins this fight, do we see Canelo in Triple G, or do you think he goes elsewhere?
The call for the Canelo Triple G is going to be massive, and it's going to be also, they're going to diminish Chavez, and what I mean is Canelo's supposed to beat Chavez. So especially if Canelo knocks him out, it's going to be, Canelo's he's cherry picking. He just needs to fight Triple G. I don't really understand. Well, you can kind of see what they're trying to do with the Triple G fight is build it up like Pacquiao Mayweather, possibly. but they're rolling the dice a little bit too much, you know.
Yeah, Pacquiao Mayweather, they ended up waiting a couple of years too long rolling the dice, Steve.
Too long. Yeah, exactly. and you know, and that dice just rolled on down the street a little too long. But I don't think that motivates a Triple G fight, only because it's really, I think it's a business move why they're taking so much time to get this Triple G fight anyway.
All right, K9.
Yeah, I think more than just, well, it is business. You're right, it is business. But I think they're waiting for a Triple G to slow down. They're waiting for him to get old overnight before they take the fight with Triple G, because Triple G is a monster, man. The guy can really seriously crack. So, you know, I think that Canelo looks real good. He gets some rounds in, and he destroys Chavez Jr. I think they'll actually fight the next fight, because Triple G's last couple of fights, he hasn't looked that good. It looked like he's actually getting older in the ring, even though I still would favor Triple G in a fight with Canelo if Canelo can pull the fight off with Julio Chavez Jr. But I do think that this fight right here makes big business sense, because he's fighting against a bigger guy to prepare him against a Triple G.
Well, you might as well
All
take
right.
that payday
Before we get Jeremiah's answer, we do have to go and pay some bills. We've got to run a commercial. We'll be back in 40 seconds. If you guys want to call in, I mean, we can extend the show a little bit longer. To call in numbers 323-642-1210. We'll be back right after this.
Replenishing Technologies helps athletes of all levels train, recover, and perform at their absolute best. We do this by offering the PEMF 120, the world's leading pulsed electromagnetic field therapy device. Workouts, injury, and stress cause cells to lose their natural power. PEMF works like a battery charger, helping cells regain the power needed to dump toxins, take in oxygen and nutrients, and repair. 95% of athletes report less pain, increased range of motion, more energy, and they simply feel better after using PEMF 120. If you'd like to count yourself among that group, contact us at www.replenishingtechnologiesinc.com.
All right, guys, we're back with the Inside Boxing Weekly Show. We got the Canelo Alvarez, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight coming up this week. We're going to wrap the show up now. Steve dropped off. I don't know what happened there. Hopefully I didn't do anything wrong, but hopefully he'll call back. Jeremiah, we'll go ahead and let you answer the Triple G Canelo question.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it may very well be that he's fighting a bigger guy, you know, in effort to prepare for Golovkin. I don't know, it's hard to say. I mean, there's not much there stylistically that I see, you know, that's a similarity, but I think, as you said, you know, I think the game was to wait Golovkin out, you know, wait till he got a little bit older, wait till he got a bit slower, and also, like Bundrage said, I mean, I think it's there. I mean, we often get, you know, blinded by some of this stuff where we see Golovkin beating up everybody and knocking them out, and then all of a sudden Danny Jacobs gives him a tough go, and he looks human. But the thing is that I don't know a guy at 35 years old, you know, who had, you know, 355 amateur fights. You know, he's had about 400 fights total in his boxing career. I don't know any guy with an aggressive style with that many fights who's in his physical prime. I mean, I think Golovkin has been past his physical best for years now, and that helps Canelo Alvarez, of course, who's significantly younger. I mean, he's about, 8-9 years younger. But I'm hoping, and we had Ruben Castillo on, you know, earlier, and he said that he heard that from Abel Sanchez that the fight's about 95% done. I'm going to take him at his word, and I'm hoping we get the fight, and it's going to be big for boxing.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to hear the Ruben Castillo interview, it will be up sometime tomorrow. This show will post Thursday night, so check it out. Friday, Ruben Castillo was a great interview, funny as hell, and we had some really interesting stories about Castillo-Mato, Mike Tyson. I think everybody will enjoy. But also on the GrillingTruth.net, it looks like Sunday, I think we're going to have a new show starting. And K9, you want to tell people about it?
Yes. K9 Boxing coming to an ear near you. This Sunday.
To an ear near you. That'd be all your ears, wouldn't it, K9?
Right, everywhere. all over the world. UK. Germany.
All right, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. That'll be up here in the next few days. Any final words, K9?
Oh man, you can go to my YouTube channel, y'all. Subscribe to K9 Boxing. I'm on social media, K9 Boxing, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Shout out to Lake Promotions. Shout out to Title Boxing. Shout out to K9 Boxing Gold Promotions. Shout out to you, my brother Mike, for putting me on this Sunday. And much love,
no
man.
problem. And
man,
if you know people at Title Boxing, they could always be a sponsor.
All right, that's true. That's true. And much love, much love to my guy right here, Cunningham too, man. We be kicking it, man. You're a real brother.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Steve. He dropped off. I don't know if I did something or if his cell phone cut off, but we definitely want to thank Steve for coming on too. Jeremiah, final closing words?
Oh, can I say something before you say something too?
Yeah,
shout out to all my people that called in. Shout out to everybody that called in too. Thank y'all for calling in, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, everybody that called in for Jeremiah too. We shout out there too.
I got two. I mean, I think that was more than Steve, which is fairly impressive because I haven't. But no.
Yeah, that was more than me and Steve. But I think you and K9 shared the show more, so y'all cheated a little bit.
I did get some of that in before we went on air, but hey, we got to have some of our guys call in. Right? Anyways, I'm just happy to have Steve on, happy to have Cornelius on. I mean, it's fantastic talking to these guys, and I thought it was a lively discussion. I'm looking forward to the fight, no matter what happens. I mean, I think a lot of us will be tuning in. And best of luck to the fighters, best of luck to Cornelius, and best of luck to Steve.
Oh, yeah,
what about me? What about me? Don't I get the best of luck?
Mike, I talk to you like every day.
And you never wish me the best of luck. That's some bullshit. But that's all right. Okay. I want to remind everybody, you can go to gruelingtruth.net, check out all of our shows. We cover almost every sport known to man except for soccer because I don't like it. All right, so make sure you check that out. Gruelingtruth.net. Check out our sponsors, gridironmo.com, new football app. Cool as hell. Make sure you check that out at www.gridironmo.com. Check out Replenishing Technologies, www.replenishingtechnologies.com. Both great products. Make sure you check those out. I know in the past, like I said, you'll be able to catch our interviews with former legends like K9Bundrage. He's on there where we talked about his career. Ruben Castillo. We've had Lamont Peterson on, Rasheed Warren. Tim Witherspoon, Carlos Palomino. I probably already said that, but he was one of my favorite fighters. I didn't say that. All right. John Scully, Kermit Cintron's been on, Charles Brewer. So make sure you check that out. We've got some bigger names coming up here in the future. Everything will only get bigger on the Grueling Truth, as we see with K9Bundrage joining us this coming week for his opening show, which we're very excited about. You can check out all of our shows on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, iTunes, Google Music. Anywhere you find sports podcasts, you'll find The Grueling Truth. So for Steve Cunningham, K9Bundrage, Jeremiah Preisser, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.